Welcome to the Beat Zico tutorial for Wipeout HD. Beat Zico is regarded by many to be the hardest trophy in the game to collect. It involves achieving a lap time of 30.82 seconds or less on a Venom speed lap on an alpha pass forward using the Piranha. Considering that a normal lap time in these circumstances would be around 38 seconds, assuming that no turbos are used and that very few speed pads are hit, that's an awful lot of time to shave off. So achieving this trophy not only requires you to have a very good racing line, you also need to know how to pull off barrel rolls on a regular basis. What I'll show you in this video is what could be considered the bare minimum needed to beat the required time. Only 4 barrel rolls are used in this run, however it is possible to achieve other barrel rolls elsewhere on the track. If you are able to pull off some of these more difficult barrel rolls, it will make achieving the time much easier. However, I've kept the run as simple as possible so that those of you only going after the trophy will not need to worry about some of the more difficult barrel rolls. The run you see in this video achieved a time of 30.42 seconds, so as you can see there's very little margin for error. The very first thing you need to do is to save a turbo from the previous lap and use it to boost over the line. If you're good at managing the pitch of your craft, it's also possible to pull off a barrel roll up this straight. As you approach the line, push the nose down as far as it will go, and then a split second before you reach the line, pull the nose up and hit the turbo. If all goes well, you should gain enough height to barrel roll. However, this is considerably difficult to pull off and may require an element of luck for you to gain the correct amount of height. In normal circumstances, just boosting down the straight would be enough, but do make sure you leave it as late as possible so you can get the greatest advantage. When it comes to hitting the 3 speed pads in this corner, you'll want to find yourself drifting over to the outside. Just turn as normal, and then as you drift over to the outside, use the left air brake to pull the nose back towards the centre. Start by hitting the central speed pad, and then hit the 2 on the right hand side as you go through the corner. If you want to have any hope of reaching the target time, this is where you need to use your turbo. You can see here that the track dips. When you reach the bottom of the dip, pull the nose up and use the turbo. What you're trying to do is use the opposite side of the dip as a ramp. You should be able to gain plenty of height from this, and as a result you should be able to barrel roll. You should see here that the chicane ahead is sloped over to the left. If you can approach it from the right angle, you'll be able to barrel roll again. Move the craft over to the right hand side and then aim for the left apex on exit. The speed pad you see directly beneath the craft right now is key to a third barrel roll that you could potentially pull off down this narrow straight. In order to pull it off, the craft needs to land exactly on the speed pad as you pull off the second barrel roll, and you also need to have the nose up as high as it will go. As you can see here, I've slightly overshot the speed pad, so it will not be possible for me to pull it off. However, this could be classed as an advanced barrel roll and is not necessary in order to beat the target time. Hit this speed pad here and then move as far over to the right as you can to set yourself up for the next left-hander. You may need to use a right side shift in order to do this. The reason for exiting so far over to the right is that just after the next sharp left there is an inverted V formation of speed pads, and if you approach from this angle it's possible to hit 2 of them. From here, tap the left air brake and edge your way over to the left apex. As you can see, you're now in line to hit 2 of the speed pads in the formation. Initially you'll want to stay as close to the apex as possible in this sloped left-hander. However, as you want to take the upper path, you'll need to move over to the right hand side relatively quickly. The next part is without a doubt the hardest part of this run, and it's also the place where most laps end up coming to an end. Just jumping onto the upper section and using the speed pads on there won't be enough. You'll need to barrel roll, and gaining enough height to do this is a skill in itself. To start with, you need to be approaching from as far over to the right as you can possibly get. As you're about to go over, pull the nose up, and then with a slight tap of the left air brake, pull yourself slightly over to the left. Fail to do this and you'll miss the upper route entirely and completely mess up your lap. It's a very tight squeeze to be able to pull off this barrel roll, and it will take several attempts. And you can see from the run here just how little room you've got for error. If you are able to pull off at least one of the other advanced barrel rolls throughout this course, then this barrel roll will not be necessary. Once you hit the last speed pad here, it may be tempting to just gun it for the line. However, there is one more thing you can do to shave off just a tiny little bit more time. You can see the lower section down to your left, and there is actually one more speed pad waiting down here. Once you hit this last speed pad on the upper route, drop down to the lower route and barrel roll on the way down. Aim for the inside speed pad and then gun it for the line. And whatever you do, do not mess up this final barrel roll, otherwise all that work over the lap will have just gone to waste. Using all of those techniques, you should now hopefully have beaten the target time. Let's see that entire lap again at full speed. For those of you who would like to try some of the advanced techniques, I've provided a link in the video description to another video by a friend of mine who has a lap time of less than 30 seconds, and all of the advanced techniques are being used. Thanks very much for watching, and best of luck with this trophy.